nerds? This your boy Neebs, aka Watch with Neebs, and I'm here with my co-host Jeff, aka DJ Burn Notice.
DJ. Oh, okay.
Throwback.
So that's what happened at ISNA. Okay,
Somewhat. Have you ever watched the show Burn Notice? Do you
I've
remember that
watched it.
show?
Yeah, it
Dude,
was a decent show to watch.
it was a show. Every time I went to a party, somebody brought up Burn Notice. And like nobody watches it. No one I know watches it, but I would always run into random people that are like, "Yo, have you seen Burn Notice? You gotta watch Burn Notice." And I was like, okay. Apparently people really love Burn Notice, but like it completely disappeared in like pop culture. No one ever references it. No one ever quotes it. It's just like gone. But it had such a strong base. I don't know.
I mean, it's been what 10 years since the show ended, so
Yeah. Well, USA had a like a streak of really good shows. They had like Burn Notice, White Collar, Las Vegas,
Suits.
Monk,
Yeah,
Suits. Like Suit is the #1 show on Netflix right now. Do you know that?
it's
Like the
always gonna
stream.
be the #1 show, man. It's
That's
such a good show.
insane. That's
Yeah.
insane. All right. Well, speaking of Suits, we have a guest on who does not want to share their name. Let's just call her Sarah. she put an S there for some reason. She was at ISNA.
Scarlet Witch.
So yeah, we'll just call her Sarah for now, or any name that starts with an S. We can just refer to her. And she can, talk about her time at some of these events because a lot of the things that we're going to be going over today are the things that happen at ISNA. If you don't know what ISNA is, it stands for something Islamic.
The Islamic
something,
Society of
something,
North
something.
America.
Yes, Islamic Society of North America.
God damn
Man,
it,
that's what it stands for, right? So we all went there. A lot of people went there for different reasons.
I didn't go. I did
Jazz
not go.
did not go, so we get to fill Jazz in on all the drama, and oh boy, was there drama. There was so much drama. So Jazz, I'll fill you in on some of the drama. People have sent me screen caps of a lot of this drama, so I may just
What?
read out some of these screen caps. I don't know. It depends. It depends which way our comment section goes. If the comment section wants us to read out some of these comments, we'll read them out. But it was crazy. It was a little wild. There was a lot of drama happening before the event. But then once the event started, everyone was kind of like over the drama, and it wasn't really that much drama at the event. Everyone was just kind of like, I don't know, defeated by all these like matrimonial events and mixtures and all this stuff that everyone was doing. And there was really no drama. Everyone I really, met during this stuff, I really liked. I had no problem with anybody, but it was very, very interesting. All the stuff that took place. So shout out to the people in the chat. We got Riz, we got Skeeve, we got Ruby. Ruby should attend ISNA. I think you might like it. It might be
Don't traumatize her.
It might be traumatizing. These events are traumatizing to a lot of people. A lot of people left feeling really defeated after this, which is sad. And a lot of it is because these events are a little rough. So some people, they go for the lectures and they go for strengthening your spiritual self. But for a lot of people, I've heard it's the same thing over and over again. So the Islamic lecture and the spiritual part of it has kind of gotten redundant is what people have said, which is why they prefer going to some of these smaller events and stuff than the lectures, because they haven't brought out new people, new, I don't know, thoughts, I guess, like new topics. I don't know. I think Jazz, you had an opinion on that before you even went, right?
I went last year, and last year the topics they were the same exact speeches I've heard for like the past decade. And I've never been one to really go to ISNA. This was my first time going to ISNA last year, but I've heard these exact same speeches over and over whenever these scholars visit Houston. And so I'm just like, what's the point? Do I want to go, listen to Yasser Qadhi complain about X, Y, and Z issue for the 50th time, or can I just enjoy my life for once?
Yeah, I can understand your point of view, because I feel like if you heard it already, it's going to be more of the same. But for a lot of people, they don't get a chance to see these people. So for them, it's definitely worth it to see these people for the first time. So definitely agree with you there. Raksheen, what were your thoughts about any of these
You give a real name away.
Oh, damn. I mean, Sarah, damn, it took 5 minutes into the thing. It took 5 minutes. Also, people also dropped it in the group chat too, and I was like, oh, people recognize you and dropped it in the comments. I was like, oops,
I got
don't
my
know what to do about that.
fans.
Don't know what to do about that.
I can't control
S,
that.
what are your thoughts?
I thought it was great. It was really short though, so it's really hard to do everything at once. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about it later, but there are so many things that at some point you have to choose. Am I going to the bazaar? Am I going to go shopping? Am I gonna do something else? Am I gonna go listen to a lecture? So I'm sure there's no way to like spread it all out, but there were a lot of competing things going on at the same time. And at some point it felt like buying a ticket wasn't worth it.
Oh wow, okay. That makes a lot of sense because if you bought a ticket and you weren't able to attend all the events, I could kind of see that. There were comedy shows, there were musicals, there was a lot of stuff happening, which was kind of cool. But it was, you had to kind of prioritize what was important to you. And for a lot of people my age who are single, completing half your dean is a high priority to you.
Okay.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
Someone said, "Did my comment get deleted?" We don't delete comments. I don't know what happens. I don't know. I don't even know how to delete comments on here. But yes,
I don't think you can.
Toya's in the comments. We met the Religiously Nerdy Crew, another podcast, Muslim podcast, 3 black women who do podcasts on anime. They came and it was so good to meet them. We met Marguerite Hill, who's an activist for ARC. Really, really cool people we got to meet. I think my favorite part of ISNA is the people that you get to meet. It's the friends we
sure.
make along the way.
Just like the One Piece.
Yeah.
That's the real
exactly.
treasure.
All right, listen. I think a lot of people want to hear about what the drama was. So should I spill the
Spill it.
beans? Should
Just
I
spill it.
get it? All right.
Yeah,
all right.
Riz in the comments, he's hyped. Skeev's like, nah, just go no filter. And so
No filter. Oh my god.
let it all
right.
out.
All right. So I went to UPNA a little while ago, and a buddy of mine, who shall remain nameless, I don't know unless he wants to take credit. He built a group chat. He had a really large network. He built like a group chat for UPNA, which is the Pakistani Association or whatever. Majority of the people who went to that were gonna go to ISNA. So he made another group chat, ISNA, using his contacts and stuff like that. He made a huge group chat, told people to go ahead and add people to the event, mostly for logistics and find out like where people are staying and get roommates and, really just, orchestrate a lot of the stuff that's going to be going on that weekend, right? Like events like dinners and who's going to the matrimonial, who's going to this event, who's going to that event, right? But just like any other group chat, there's always side conversations. There's nothing wrong with that. But every now and then the side conversations get a little heated, and we constantly were seeing a bunch of gender war fights happening in this chat. Things like, the men are creepy and they're F boys, and for women it was like they're gold diggers, and it was just wild. It was bizarre. Well, that's why we got 2 people on here. The comment says, I hope Anib gives a guy's perspective too. Yeah, well, that's why I made sure that we brought in a woman who could give her perspective too.
I mean, now these comments are making a lot more sense, and I'm like, what are you guys saying? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
But okay, now it makes a bit more sense.
It was really wild. And then like the comments would get shut down, or they would warn people like, hey, can you talk about something else? And it would get like really, really complicated. What were your thoughts about, wait, what is it? Okay, someone says, did you guys make any potential? I got ghosted by everybody. Listen, you're not the only one. Someone said I'm traumatized. Okay, we'll get into that. That's the people are sharing their stuff on the comments right now. They're traumatized. Man, this chat is lit. All right. S, what were your thoughts on the whole gender wars and the fights that were breaking out in this group chat?
honestly, it was incredibly unnecessary. Before ISNA even started, this chat had been muted, archived completely. I was I was at ISNA last year and I loved it because people would be like, hey, some of us are going to like Ali Nahari. Hey, some of us are going here. Some of us are going to go to this city and like get brunch and walk around. And you could kind of like join which hangout you wanted to do. And in that way, I feel like I met 5 times more people because I had been invited to so many things. But this year, it had to be muted because yeah, people were just fighting. There were honestly, to be honest with you, one of my friends, he got kicked out of the chat, but he made a spreadsheet and he got all the data and it said, hey, these 12
people. We haven't gotten to that yet. We're still talking about the first chat. We haven't even gotten to the second chat yet. We haven't gotten to the coup.
Wait, there were 2 chats?
Yes, we haven't gotten to that part
yet. Oh, that's amazing.
There was a civil war. There was a partition in the chat, and like Pakistan became part of the. It was so wild.
It was so unnecessary. And just people were like just basically like whining about why they can't find a guy and like all the effort that they went through, all the times they got ghosted and blah blah blah. And it's like, this isn't the place. Like you're trying to find a husband within the 400 or so people in here, and this is what we have to read. Like
yeah, it was pretty funny. And then what happened was some guy joined. It was him and a girl, and they were kind of just talking about like how, hey guys, maybe you guys shouldn't focus on like this matrimonial stuff as much, and come for the actual lectures and stuff like that, which is like well-meaning, but like I think it didn't come off well-meaning. It came off like very aggressive. It came out like very awkward, and there were some big fights between this person saying like, well, all of these apps are just there to get your money. They're all like made by the devil. Like just crazy stuff he would say, and he's not right. I mean, like algorithmically they are designed to get a lot of eyes on the apps, right? That's how they make money. So for sure I get that, but you never know. A lot of people, it works for a lot of people and stuff like that, and these app companies, a lot of them were sponsoring events that were happening there. So this guy went on a little rant about all that stuff, and people got really mad at him, and there were a lot of fights, and it was wild. And then he got kicked out of the chat, and they shut it down. And like yeah, man, it was bizarre. I think someone said like, please open up the chat back up. Everything was fine before this pimp and his hoe came. I was like, whoa,
what?
Yeah, that was the comment. Right?
Give me 1 second.
This is
I need to see this.
This is a Muslim chat, yo. So I was like, whoa.
Hold up, I am part of this chat. I had it archived and muted as well. But
yeah. No.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I looked for the word pimp. It's actually in here. What the hell?
Yeah, it was wild. So they shut down this app, right? This is like the second time it's been shut down. And then what happened was people started talking about this group chat in another group chat, that the ISNA one, the Pakistani one. So they were complaining that it got shut down, and
and then I shut the ISNA one down because I was
and then Jazz is the host of the ISNA one down, and like Jazz was like, screw you guys, I'm gonna shut this down too.
It's still muted. Like it will not come back on until next year. Like I am sorry, I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah, that was really, really funny. So we went a few days without the group chat, and it was so peaceful.
Apparently not.
Apparently not. So then they bring the group chat back on, right? And it's everyone's chill again. Everyone's like, all right, whatever. It happened. These things happen. It's fine, right? We're going to be okay. We're going to be all right, as Kendrick Lamar would say. And then some random girl joined. Her name was Sarah, not you, Sarah, but a different Sarah. Just want to make that clear. I know you.
Are we still doing this? Like we already gave her name out. Like
we didn't until you said so.
You're the one who said it.
I said her name, but you're the one that said that was her name. We could have just ignored it and moved on.
Fair.
We're just so bad at this. We would be horrible spies.
Right? It's like, oh, hey, I'm a spy for this country. How you doing?
Oh my god, I would be the worst spy ever. Yeah, oh man. All right, so this random girl named Sarah comes on here, and she goes, as a 25-year-old, this chat makes me very uncomfortable. And then like people started attacking her. And they're like, if you're uncomfortable, why don't you leave? And saying all this stuff. And then she hit back with, I don't know what she said. It got nasty. And I'm still curious what made her uncomfortable. She never even got a chance to say what was uncomfortable about the chat. I was still curious. Like, I was like, well, what's uncomfortable about it? She didn't even get a chance to respond. Everyone just like, then leave. It's kind of like when the white Christians are like, if you don't love it, you can leave. Like, it was one of those situations. It was madness. S, were you there for the whole Sarah situation? S, that's you.
Oh,
This is why we don't use fake names. Like, it's so hard to use fake names.
I'm reading the chat, and there's also someone that goes by S. I thought you were asking that, but no, I had muted and moved on. I was just like,
okay,
I'm in too many chats, and this isn't one I want to be in.
So this girl Sarah starts attacking people's age, and she's like, I can't believe you're 40 years old and like talking like this and doing this stuff, and it just got really crazy. It was so bizarre. And then people were like looking her up and like looking up her number, and they're like, it's a Google chat number, and like, or what is it, Google voice number. She's not a real person, she's someone trolling. And like, to this day we don't know if she was a troll or not. I have no idea. But it was wild. And she got the chat shut down for a third time, so that's 3 times the chat's been shut down,
bro.
And we're a week from ISNA. It's like so crazy.
I'm just looking at this chat right now. I am, close to 7,000 messages behind.
Yeah. 7,000 messages, bro.
How did y'all deal with this? Like,
I don't know. They just like closed the chat, and then like people got really mad, and then they opened it up. They opened up the chat again, and there's one person, I'm not gonna say their name, but they were like, make me admin. And I guess like people either left them on red or didn't really like see their message, got upset and made their own chat. And like, I thought that was a great idea. It's a great idea to make your own chat. If there's a chat that's strictly for logistics, have another chat for like, talking, and whoever wants to talk. That's fine. No problem there. But
no, what happened? Clearly there had to be a problem.
so clearly there's a problem. I don't want to get in trouble for this. Like, it's so wild. I'm just stating what happens as I recall them. So I don't want to get into like the beef, but like, this person made a new chat, which is fine. They dropped the link to the chat a couple of times in the old chat to let people know they can come. And then they just started adding people from the old chat into the new chat without consent, I guess you could say. So like, everyone woke up the next morning and they're in this new chat and they don't know how they got in here, but everyone's like, well, I'm gonna stick around and see what this drama is all about. And
the popcorn,
right? And which is fine. I was like, okay, fine. Like, yeah, I mean, not a great thing that people were added without their consent, but like, obviously, you can leave. No one's holding a gun to you. But I guess like people were like, the people they were in both chats, and they're kind of still like fighting with the other chat, and then the other chat decided to like, kick out the people who were making the other chat. I don't know whether it was because they didn't like them, adding people without their consent, or what it was. It was really hard to keep up with the chat, but they got kicked out. And
it was because it kept starting drama.
Yeah,
and that
then
was me.
Right.
I did it.
Oh, did you? You were the one that kicked them out? I didn't
Let
know.
them know it was me.
No, you're not even an admin on that one. But yes,
Not anymore.
But basically what happened was, and then what they did was they renamed the chat the same name as the other chat. So the people that were added without consent thought they were just in the original chat. They didn't have any idea they were in a new chat because it's the same name and it just says 2.0 at the very end. So like it doesn't show all of it sometimes.
Oh no,
So
because on WhatsApp it cuts off at the end. Did they use the same image?
I don't think so. I think they used a different image. I think they
Okay, that would have been funny if they use the same
Yeah.
image and everything.
it was pretty hysterical. and I was just like,
Oh
what
my
are people doing?
god, Skeeb. I can't believe it. He's confirming that they did the same thing.
Yo, it was wild. The beef just grew and grew. And then one of the admins was like, okay, cool, this is awesome. You guys made a new group and this one could have like conversation and stuff like that. And just because she was the admin of the other group, that they kicked her out. They kicked her out.
That wasn't the reason.
I don't know what the reason was then, but like they kicked her out of that group. And then she took herself out as admin from the other group. She was like, this is too much.
Wait, hold on.
She
In the
resigned
original
as admin.
chat?
In the original chat, she resigned as admin.
Oh my god.
Like it was so much.
Wow.
It was so much. And then, you know, I guess like there were a lot of spies in both chats. So I guess like screen caps were going
What?
all over. They were going to go. I was getting so many screen caps. Like it was insane.
There were spies.
Cause like in the 2.0 group chat, there were people getting deleted and getting kicked out, but they would delete the comments that person made. So like I would have no context about like what this person said and why they got deleted. So like I was just like, hey, what did this person say? And then people were like, don't worry, we took care of it. And I was like, I can see that. I was just curious what they said. They're like, well, if you don't like it, you can leave. And I was like, what? I'm like, what? Like, listen, I'm just a nosy bitch, man. I'm not trying to start a fight. I'm just trying to find out what's going on here.
You just want the tea, like the rest of the people in our comments.
Right. I was just lurking and wanted to know what happened. Like, what did this person say to get like removed? And then they threatened to take me out, and I was like, what did I do?
Bye, names.
I know. And then what happened after I said that? I got maybe like 25 DMs of people sending me screen caps of like what the person said.
Are you gonna read those out loud? Because
should I read the screen caps out loud?
You might as well, man. I think that's what people are here for.
Yo, it's I don't want to start more drama because the drama's over. But like, as an archival, like it was kind of funny.
For the sake of history, read them out loud.
All right, before I read them out loud, S, what are your thoughts about all the drama? Were you a part of this? Were you aware of all this drama that was going on, or was it completely archived for you?
It was pretty much archived, and then every once in a while, I would like check in, and I'd be like, "This is ridiculous!" Like a month before ISNA, this is ridiculous. A week before ISNA, come on! These chats have so much purpose. There are so many people who want to know who they can room with, who they can get a ride from the airport with, and all of that was completely gone. And honestly, I don't know what to think of it. But at this point, I'm like, is this just like someone's power trip? Because these things have a purpose, and the purpose was not being used unless. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm glad there were two chats. I was like, you could have this fun chat and do whatever you want and talk about whatever topics you want. And then you can have this other chat for like, logistics. And like, I had to scroll through like, I don't know, hundreds of lines of drama just to find out like who's going to this dinner, right? I was like, I was looking up names. I'm like, yo, is this person cute? Maybe I'll go. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on, right? But yes, it was. Also, I was looking at where they're going. That was more important. Whether the food was good. That was more important. I was like, oh, where they're going, right?
Please,
but yes,
you'd show up anywhere as long as there was a cute girl there.
That's not true because I am more lazy than I am desperate. We all know this. We all
also
know
fair.
I am way more lazy than I am desperate. We know this for sure. All right. So, do I read this comment?
You gotta read it, man.
All right, man. I'll read it. This is bad though, but oh my god. All right, let me see. All right, I'll read. But like, so many people sent me this screenshot, man. It was wild. I was like, it was pretty crazy. Let's see, where is this?
What was the context at least? Give us that while you're looking for it.
So I think somebody joined and they just defended one of the other admins that was in that group chat. So and then as soon as they said that person's name, they boom, kicked them off. They're like, no talking about other admins. He who shall not be named. It was like some Harry Potter shit. Right?
Oh I'm almost kind of glad I didn't go this year.
Yeah, the person was kicked off in like a minute. So this is what this person wrote. And like, I didn't see this. I did not see this. People sent it to me because I just asked about it. The person said, this person is right. Anyone who speaks the truth gets kicked out of this group. Ironic because you don't censor. You say you don't censor, but the admins have kicked out more people in the last 24 hours than the original chat did. The old admin didn't do anything outside of leave some people on red and shut down the original group chat for a week. The group was formed by taking all the phone numbers from the original group without their consent and manually adding them to this group, then changing the name to match the first group to confuse people. Literally a coup. This person called it a coup. Yo, I was dying. I was so silly.
People in the comments, I mean, they're just here for this. Like,
Yo, this was so funny to me. That person has got deleted so fast. The admins in that second group are so quick. They're so quick with it. Like no one, but also the lurkers are also quick because they sent me so many screenshots. Like it couldn't have been up there for more than a minute, and 20 people took screenshots of it. Like people are here for the drama.
all right.
Oh my god. But like, all right, but it has a good ending because like when the oh no, something else happened. Someone else joined and they just like commented something and someone wrote the comment, I bet you're someone's ally. So now we have coups and allies. This was some Game of Thrones shit right here. They're using words like coup and allies. This is a group chat.
Can I retire? I'm done.
Yo, this is a group chat filled with like adult men, like people in their 30s. They're talking about like coups. Who are you aligned with? What house do you represent?
I think it's crazy that we managed to have all this drama without knowing each other, seeing each other, or being in the same room with each other. Who else can do that?
Amazing.
And then, so this new group doesn't have a lot of love for the admin of the old group, right? Which is really really funny. And then they were asking, an event came up called IllMuslims, and this event had a promo code. And the
It was his name. Yeah. Okay.
The name of the guy they date.
Yeah. The dots are connecting in my head now, even though it wasn't there.
Like, they made it his name, so everyone has to type it in. Oh my god. Oh my god. Which like is yes, we're people are asking, are you stating that? Yes, this will be available on Spotify and it'll be available on YouTube once this is over.
And Apple Podcasts and everything else.
Oh man. But it was so funny. And they're like why it had to be his name.
Haters.
Oh man. This was so funny to me. Like I was like, what's going on here? And then like there were even like dudes that were like beefing with each other. One guy was like, yo, I'll see you there. And I was like, what is this? Catch me outside?
What?
Yeah. A girl and a guy has said this, like, yo, I'm gonna see you at ISNA. So, and I was like, it reminded me of like the Cash Me Outside girl. Like that's what it was. How about that? This is a Muslim event, bro. Like, we should be brotherly. We should be loving each other. They're trying to catch each other outside. Throw them hands.
I'm gonna go back to this comment real quick. Where let's
Yeah.
talk about actual ISNA. Like, I'm just like blown away.
Okay,
at
yeah.
the
We'll get to the
level of-
actual. We'll get to the actual
Yeah.
ISNA too. Oh man, but yes. So I wanted to, but like, here's the thing, right? Also, one person, which was sent a video of a person dying in the group chat. That was wild.
What?
That was so out of pocket.
Why?
I don't know. It was like a guy with a car accident or a motorcycle accident, and people were helping him, and he's like bleeding out, and someone just sent the video, and I'm just like, whoa, trigger warning? Like what's going on here?
Oh my. Okay, yeah, no, we're not gonna touch that.
Yeah, but like the chat was insane. Like it was out of control. I don't know.
No, thank you.
It was wild. But here's the good thing, right? Once we got to the event, there was no drama. Not that I know of. Like the people who were admins of one chat and the people that were admin of other chat, like everyone was pleasant to each other. Everyone was nice to each other. No one talked shit about anybody throughout the whole event. Everyone was super nice. Even the chats were like, nobody was like saying anything bad about anybody. It just like all disappeared. It all just went away during ISNA. And it was just wild.
No comment.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I met the people, the admins from all the groups, and like there was no drama. Everyone was chilling. Everyone had a good time. The reason nobody had drama is because everyone was depressed because they're all going to be forever alone after this event.
I mean, you showed your true colors early on. Like, we know enough about all of you now.
People were like, "What's more important, drama or my love life?" Like, one makes me depressed, and the other makes me like want to fight people. But yes, I was a spectator in this, and it was really funny to me. It really was, and a lot of it was really confusing, and I had to get filled in with a lot of people because I didn't keep track, but it was fun. Yeah, someone said I left because there was too much drama. Man, I wish I had only those problems to worry about. Yeah. No, man.
I love Zane. Zane's just going off. Like,
drama is more
important. Drama.
Oh my god, this chat is going crazy. All right, so now let's talk about what we're really here for. Let's talk about the depressing or the hopeful ISNA stuff and all the matrimonials and the events and all that stuff that happened. So there were a bunch of events. What?
Real quick, at the actual ISNA event, were there any speeches or talks this year that were unique? Or were they all the same things that have been going on for decades?
They were really the same. There's more of the same. Like if I went to the one last year, like it was the same.
Okay, yeah, this is why I didn't go. I know a lot of people were asking like why I'm not there. This is exactly why, because these events are draining, and I was always looking for like a spiritual or iman boost. And last year I didn't get it, so I'm like, why should I waste money doing it this year? And no.
So I talked to Marguerite Hill, who was a speaker at these events, and she said the same thing. And she's like, we need like young blood, and we need people to do like something that like would make people say, hey, this is different. And she wanted to put an event together with us and talk about Muslim in media and stuff like that. And I thought that would have been really cool, but she couldn't get it approved, unfortunately. So I don't know.
Of course not. I wonder why.
Yeah. I don't know.
Same shit as last year. We're like, oh, hey, you should do something. And the moment we try to do something, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah. So
every time.
Yeah, that is true. I don't know what to tell you, but let's see. So we did come to ISNA there are a few other events happening. A lot of them were unofficial events, including mine, which there was a lot of rumors going out about me. There was tons of rumors about me that were going on. People were like, yo, people were saying ISNA is suing me, and that like whatchamacallit, I'm getting sued by ISNA because I made a flyer for a mixer, but my mixer said that this is an unofficial mixer. So just because I had the word ISNA on there, they thought I was saying that this was an ISNA mixer, and they were upset at that. But my flyer clearly said that it was an unofficial mixer. And once I pointed that out, they were like, oh, yeah, I guess it does.
Oh, no, I guess we can't sue Uni for the millions of dollars that he has. Like,
well, the other thing is,
get out of it. Like,
my event was free. God. My event was free, so like I'm not making any money off of it.
Like,
yeah. I heard they were mad, but I have friends on the ISNA board and stuff like that, and they were like, they explained to them like, hey, this is a free event. People are going to be hanging out in the lobby anyway. They're not really doing anything. And the flyer says unofficial. So, it was fine. I am not getting sued. The ISNA wasn't, they might have been a little mad, but like it wasn't anything serious. I know the rumors were going on, but I made an event and it was really cool. So basically, last year we went to ISNA and nobody hung out in the lobby, like nobody, because everybody just goes to Kava House and hangs out there now. It was like that's the new spot. People go to their dinners and then they go to Kava House. They don't get back to the hotel until like late, and there's like nothing happening. So because of that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw an event in the lobby. So, I spent about like $200, a little under $200 on snacks and stuff like that. No big deal. I'll go to like a Target and we get like all this stuff. I get like sodas, I get chips, I get snacks, and then I get a poster board and I get these like wristbands and tag names. So what I would do is I would give people wristbands to indicate why they're here. So green meant single and looking. So if you got a green band, it means you're single looking. Come talk to me. All right. If you have a yellow, it's like, I'm just here to make friends. Like, I'm just here to make friends. And then if you had a red one would say no mixing with the opposite gender, meaning like if you're a male, you only want to come and make male friends. If you're a female, you only want to come and make female friends, right? You don't want to, free mix, because it is a Muslim event and a lot of Muslims don't like to free mix, is what they say. So I was like, I wanted people to have the opportunity to have that option. Orange was networking. People want to network for, work and professionally. And then blue, yeah. And then blue was for social anxiety. I do believe like a lot of people come to these events and they have social anxiety. And if they indicate that, and it was all up to them, it was optional. You didn't have to disclose it. But a lot of people wanted to disclose that they have anxiety in social events, in social places. And then a lot of people were more compassionate towards these people and more willing to talk to these people and make sure they have a good time and make sure they're not standing by themselves alone when they saw the blue wristband. And I thought that was really, really nice. I thought that was really sweet. And shout out to everybody that came to this event, because everybody was so nice. Everybody was talking to everybody. It was such a good time. And I just went around making sure people were fed and gave them snacks. I didn't get a chance to talk to anybody at my event, but I did basically go around being host and making sure everyone had a good time. It was completely free. And the reason I did it was because some events were charging $200 for people to just meet. $200 per person.
I better get steak dinner with that kind of money. Like,
right?
What?
And I just wanted to prove that you can do this for free. You do not need to charge people $200. I just wanted to prove that, right? And that's what I did, and it was really cool. And look, I'm not doing it altruistically. I was like, you know what, let me get something out of it. So I did bring my business cards and share my business cards with a lot of people. Hopefully they tune in. So I'm not like a saint, but still, I think everybody got what they wanted out of that event. S, what are your thoughts about that event?
I loved it. I think it's like a great cozy spot for everyone to hang out, not only because ISNA just happened there or a lot of people are staying there, but also, it was like a really friendly environment. You can talk to people about their wristbands. And my favorite part is that you provided food, which kept us all there longer. I'm about free food. So
I know. I had to go refill
the honesty, food. Man. Like, I'm just glad you were like, oh yeah, I'm not a saint. I'm doing this because I want to get something out of it. Like, great. Yeah. Thank you for being honest. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, like whatever. Like, I'm not some like saint that just like doing this. I did it for two reasons. Number one, I'm petty and I wanted to prove I can do it for less money than $200 a person. And two, I wanted to it wouldn't hurt to get some more people on our podcast and people a little promotion. So
wonderful.
Yeah, it is what it is, right?
Ooh, I should bend me you $100 because technically we're together.
It's like a marketing expense, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe, right? Yeah. I should have majored in marketing. All right. The next event was the ISNA event. Now, this is the one that ISNA officially throws. And it's got like about, I believe, 80 people over 30 and 80 people under 30. Thanks, Shaista. She says I was a popular guy at Club ISNA. Yeah. I appreciate that. So
okay, hold up. Question. What? I know you say 80 people over 30 and 80 people under 30. Yeah. Was that a hard cutoff?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Why do they keep doing this nonsense?
Yeah. I don't know either.
Last year when I went, right? Well, actually went to the mass ISNA event, and there was a hard cutoff at the age of 30. And this was December 24th. I turned 31 on December 16th. So when I was at this event, I was in the upper tier, right? And every girl I met was, 4 to 5 years older. Like, oh, we're not looking for anybody younger. And so the entire time I was sitting there like, yeah, I'm younger than all of you. And like, oh, okay, bye. And I'm so tired of that. Like, I really do wish it wasn't a hard cutoff. Like, rather they do something, a bit more grouped up based on what people are looking for. But a simple hard cutoff just does not work for people, especially if you're right at that cutoff.
Yeah. Like, I think there's got to be a different cutoff or age range for men and a different one for women. I think that makes more sense. Because if they just do a cutoff as a guideline and not enforce it, then a lot of these like creepy old dudes are going to go after 20-year-old girls, and that's just super creepy. S, what are your thoughts? Yeah, S, what are your thoughts about that? Did you go to the ISNA matrimonial?
Yeah, I had no intentions of going, but I was hanging out with two guy friends who were like, "We'll sneak you in," and I was like, "This isn't gonna work." And so they ended up sneaking me in, which I really shouldn't have gone there because I'm pretty sure because I'm pretty sure they were sold out for women's tickets for probably weeks out. I'm guessing. I didn't even look. But anyways, lo and behold, I'm there. And just like what you're saying, Jazz, like I'm right in that middle where I can go older or younger. So I talked to the organizers and they're like, it's whatever you feel comfortable with. If halfway in you feel like you want to go older or younger, you can switch over. So, and it's kind of like a tough situation, but so I like decide to sit at the over 31 because someone says there's more people there. And then I sit there and then the girl behind me is like, I wouldn't do this if I were you. I would, because you're going to talk to like 50-year-olds. So if I were you, I'd go to under 30. And I was like, oh my God, you're freaking me out. So I just literally got up and went to the under 30 section. And lo and behold, most of the guys that I talked to were not under 30. They were like,
oh, they snuck into the other one?
I'm dead.
Yeah, it worked out for me because that's exactly what I'm looking for. Like 30, 31, 32, 33, even 34. So it worked out for me, but that's not obviously ideal for someone who's like 22.
Yeah, that is true.
That's gross. Yeah, let's go to the comments real quick because, one person, it's compared me with people 20 years older. It made no sense.
Oh my God.
Other matrimonials do not do a hard cutoff. Like, yeah, wow. After years of me complaining about this, they're still doing the same bullshit.
Yeah. Also, so I was in the right part. I stayed within my age range. But what I really didn't like about it was that it was a good 35 to 40 minutes of them just lecturing us in the beginning and before this event started. Like, we got a whole ass khutbah. Like, it was like ridiculous because like it was basically 20 minutes of this guy talking around the subject of revealing your past, basically saying like, yo, don't tell anybody you were an F boy or you were a hoe. Like he just spent like 20 minutes trying to say this in a very Islamic way. And like the thing is, I didn't get to speak to all the people that were in my section because he spent so much time. Like I probably only talked to, I would say, 2/3 of the people that were in my section. So there's 30% of people that were there that I didn't even get to talk to because they spent so much time on this lecture. And also the guy like who was supposed to be watching out for the time, he wasn't really watching out for the time because there were definitely people that like I was talking to for 10 minutes. He was never saying next. He just forgot to say it. So they didn't do a good job and I didn't get to talk to a lot of people. And like 10 minutes doesn't seem like a long time, but 10 minutes is 5 people. Because if everyone you're talking to is 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it's 5 people you could have talked to. Like it adds up. Right. So that was one of the biggest issues with them. But I did meet a lot of nice people. I asked 3 people for their numbers. They gave them to me. I texted them. And they didn't text me back. so
to the comments.
To the comment.
Someone just said they need to quit while not ghosting. Oh man, like I don't want to get into that. You're right, but
should ghosting be called
topic?
if you're Muslim, should go to be called jinning because it's a jinn. Don't leave, Jazz. Come back. Come back to the. We got 3 more events to talk about. All right. So the next event was the Muzz event. So the Muzz event was taking place at the same time as this ISNA event. So people had to decide which one to go to. And people are so slick. What they would do, these guys would buy tickets for both events, and they would come in early and scope out the girls. So if the girls were cute,
wow,
they would stay for the ISNA event. If they weren't cute, they would go to the Muzz event. They were so slick.
So what's the verdict? Where are you supposed to be?
Yeah, what's the verdict? Now I'm curious.
So they ended up going to the Muzz event. Actually, they were like, "We're gonna go to." They went there. They saw the merchandise and they decided to go somewhere else. These guys are
merchandise. Is that what we're comparing women to nowadays? What other inanimate object are we compare them to?
I'm being facetious. But like from their point of view, that's how they were treating them. Like from their point of view, that's pretty much how it was.
Oh my god.
So but I didn't go to the Muzz single event during the daytime, and I believe you did. So what was your whatchamacallit experience like?
Yeah, so I ended up doing ISNA on Sunday, and then Saturday I did Muzz. So when I walked in, I was pleasantly surprised. I thought there were, like you said, beautiful women and beautiful men. So I was like, this is a great place to be. There was natural sunlight, which ISNA doesn't have, which I think makes everybody look better. Like,
Ooh, I never thought of that. Natural sunlight.
Yeah. Like the ambiance, I think really makes a difference. So I think Muzz just had a bit more of a hip, like vibe, trendy vibe to it. And it was like a cool venue kind of. And ISNA's at the end of the day at a convention center, which makes you feel like it's corporate-y and stiff. Not that that's like the entire thing, but I walk in and I'm like, I'm really hungry. So there's like this Central Asian halal place like across the street. So let me just get food real quick. I come back, me and my friends come back, and now we have to get into this line because they didn't have enough chairs for both guys and girls to like speed date. So the plan was that you would talk to each other for 80 seconds and then rotate. There's no over 30, under 30.
Seconds.
Yeah.
80 seconds.
80 seconds fast. Yeah, 80 seconds. So me and my friends, we get in line and well, let's just say our turn never comes. We're really close to getting started on the speed dating portion, but then it seems like a lot of people were complaining. And the founder of Muzz, I think his name is Shahzad, kind of gets up on a table and he's like, hey, what do you guys want to do? Raise your hand if you want to do speed dating, or raise your hand if you want to do like just regular, like let's just go straight to like
free mixing. Yeah.
Mixing. And it seemed like, and I was like, I want to do speed dating. I want to try it. And like, clearly I didn't win. And we went to the mixing, which was great. But I did want to say that there was like way more girls than guys, but the ratio still wasn't bad. I'm just going to eyeball it and say 60-40. So ideally 40% of girls, over to simplify this, get a guy at least. And there's only 10 or 20 who have to take the L, whatever, that's fine. But I didn't really see that happening. I saw a lot of like competitiveness. I feel like sometimes like if someone really wants to talk to somebody and they're like in line and they're not actually in the speed dating line, they'll just like take the chair between two people rotating. And then, you know what I mean? Like they'll just like be like, okay, I'm going to sit down and take this chair because I want to talk to this guy. You see that happening. You see people just getting up and leaving because they're like, I don't like the next 5 people I see. So you see a lot of like feelings getting hurt.
Oh no.
Yeah, a lot of people not following the rules. And I feel like people just need to like get through it, you know what I mean? And not like kind of like do that. But then the mixing part was what I got to participate in. And from what I heard, people did not like speed dating, which you guys have discussed before.
Yeah.
People just don't like speed dating. I think there's a lot of like pent up energy. There's a lot of like frustrations. But because like if you think about it, like one of my friends, he's like, I think he's like 27, and he's like, there were so many girls. A lot of the people were like, I would say average age was like 30 or early 30s. So these women are like, I don't want to consider you, so let's just like chill and talk. So he's basically getting rejected not rejected, but like he's just not fitting a lot of people's like ideal criteria again and again and again and again and again. So then comes to free mingling, which was cool because it's just your name and your age, and you can talk to who you want to talk to. Don't talk to who you don't want to talk to. And I think with that, people were like a lot nicer to each other. And also,
Yeah.
I feel like we were there for like 7 hours. So if there was someone that you never got a chance to talk to, probably by the end of the 7th hour, you were able to, which doesn't usually happen.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's the
Neat.
one thing that like I think speed dating has over mixing, because if people are talking to somebody, it's hard to break in and talk to somebody. If like there's 3 people surrounding them and they're all girls or they're guys, it's hard to break into that set of people and kind of just say, hi, I am this person and I'm this and that. For an introvert, that's very, very difficult. And in speed dating, you're forced to do that. Everybody's doing that. Everyone's on the same boat, same which it doesn't matter if you're good looking or not. You have to introduce yourself to this person. So it's good and bad. But I feel like if you're there for a long time, you'll find an opportunity if you just lurk around long enough. In a video game, you call it camping. If you're just camping there for a while, your opportunity will come to talk to that person.
Yeah, I think it was like good in a way that it was like that, but I think it was a good event. And but I will say though, like when people were speed dating, because there were so many people standing up, you would see the guys just looking at the girls and that are standing up that don't have a chance to sit down and talk to you yet. So you still had a lot of like wandering eyes and that type of thing, which you can't really control, can you?
Yeah, I heard the
Yeah.
seats are very close together. So when a guy asks a girl for like their information, like the girl right in front and behind can get notice it. And like the pretty girls, like a lot of people were asking for their numbers and they kept like holding up the lines. Is what I heard.
Ugh, yeah, I can imagine that. But honestly, the seats were really close together, and
Yeah,
I personally like don't want to be that close to just like everybody. Like
yeah,
it was
yeah,
like spaced it out, like not only vertically but horizontally. Like it was a lot.
yeah. It was a lot. Let's go to the comments because a lot of people have gone to this event and have some thoughts on it too. Let's see. Uh,
Oh, this is
Someone says he came, scoped out, speed dated, and left, saying some girls had baggage. Whoa, someone did that?
yeah. Some apparently one guy was at the Fine Singles Muslim dinner and they did that. That's wild.
That's horrible. The goal of this person.
Okay, and I think this is a comment relating to what we're talking about, how there was a hard cutoff in the ISNA event. Muzz had the opposite problem where they didn't pair people by age at all for speed dating. But I think what S was saying was that this worked out for people because it was a bit more casual, relaxed. So give and take. So yeah, good.
Honestly, that does make me a little apprehensive sometimes, because sometimes like I think a girl looks a lot younger than they are, and I won't talk to them because I don't want to feel creepy. So like if a girl's like under 30, like or looks under 30, I won't talk to them. And I'd ask someone to find out their age first, and then I'd talk to them. Like I would ask a friend, like, yo, and like one of my friend, Sasha, she is such a good wingman. She would just go
Oh,
around.
she's amazing as a
She's
wingman.
the best. I love her. She's like this gorgeous, like 5'10" Russian Ukrainian chick.
Uzbek. Get it right.
Uzbek. Is that not what I said? Whatever. But she sometimes
Wow.
says Russian. Actually, like I don't know why, but sometimes she does. And she went around asking every girl their age for me, and then I was like, all right, then I would get the green light to go and talk to him.
Sasha's a real one. Like
She's
real
the
talk.
real
She's
one.
amazing.
She's the
Mashallah,
real
yes.
And that's how you stay away from being the creepy guy talking to 22-year-old girls. They gotta look out for you. Yeah, and then okay, someone said her sister stood there for an hour at that event. Damn, that's crazy. They said the free mixing was brutal for the introverts. See, if you had the bands, it would make it easy. They could have done it. Someone says I was in that queue. It's hard when there are 5 girls in a group. Yeah, it is hard to break a set like that where there's 5 girls in a group and you got to be the one guy to go up to them. Someone said I didn't have a wingman. I didn't know anybody. The best way to get a wingman is to find a girl that's way out of your league and ask her to be your wingman.
You're not wrong. Like, straight up, you're not wrong.
That's how I got Sasha. I was like, Sasha, please help me.
Shoaib saying should have done the bands all night. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, and I think everybody should listen to that section specifically. I think a lot of dating events can go a lot better with that idea.
Yeah. And you know what is cool is that like then like you're not talking to married people, because there were married people at that Muzz event, and I'm like chatting them up, and they're like, I'm married. I'm like, oh. and I don't mind that I was talking to a married person, but it's the fact that like they drop the I'm married on you, and then I just feel awkward.
Yeah.
No, then you say, oh, congratulations.
I will say before you got there, it was a lot calmer. And then once everybody came, that's when like obviously the married people, the wingman, the wingwoman, people just checking it out. All of those people came. So that's when like it was chaos. But I think right after when they decided to quit speed dating and you could talk to who you wanted to talk about, I would say I think that was like the sweet spot for the event.
Yeah. All right. And there was there's some comments. In the future, put y'all podcast on the band since it was y'all idea. That would have been a good idea, but I looked into it. The podcast where you put your labels on were a lot extra, and maybe next time we'll do it for sure.
Yeah,
this was like
y'all like, share, comment, subscribe, get us some ad revenue, and next time we'll do it.
Yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe, man. Get on Spotify, get on Apple Podcasts, man. We talk about a lot of fun stuff.
Get on YouTube, man. Subscribe to all of them.
Subscribe to all of them, yo. We're trying to make it big, man. We'll throw a bigger event next year if we're bigger. Yeah, exactly. All right. One event that I want to talk about is the one that we mentioned that was $200. And that was Mate. And I don't know anybody who went to this one. And Jazz has beef with Mate. If you watch our episode, maybe like a few weeks ago, maybe a few months ago, we did it on Mate. That's the one where Jazz got called out for wearing a t-shirt and shorts at an event.
Give the context, because I refuse to let anybody not get away with that without giving context.
Yeah, so the context was that like Jazz was kind of forced into this event. He came here just for the food,
the food trucks,
the food trucks, and they kind of just asked him to be a part of the event. And once he was part of the event, they kind of called him out for not being dressed up for the event. And it's kind of like, I got set up here, but. That guy did send us an email. Somebody sent him our podcast, and he did listen to it, and he sent us an apology. So I don't know. And he even
I didn't get an apology.
Well, he gave it to me, and I forwarded it to you.
I didn't get it from him. He can talk to me.
Yeah. I'll let him know that he could talk to you. And then what happened was he offered us free tickets to his event, but we were not going. First of all, there's so many other events to go to, so like we had so many options. And then I don't know anybody who went to this event though, but like I heard the tickets dropped from 200 to 150, and then it dropped again to 50. So it doesn't seem like a lot of people went to that event. S, what are your thoughts on that event?
So I had no intentions of going to that event because I have some friends who were working with that organizer in like DC and didn't have good experiences. So they dropped out the event that happened yesterday. So I was just like, I didn't have a good experience with that without even trying it. And then I heard you guys' podcast. So there's that. And then it's also really expensive. But I did when I went to one of the parties at IllMuslims, I recognized this girl and she told me she did do it and she spent like whatever it was, like 150, 200. And she was hoping that it would bring the highest quality guys because they would be the ones to be able to afford this. And I was like, sis, that's not how it works. But she's like, this is it. Yeah, you guys can explain why that doesn't work. But I was like, that's not how it works. I was like, that's more so where the desperate people go, probably. I don't know. But she did. I'm sorry, isn't it true? Like, I feel like people don't have to try that hard at the end of the day, like, especially when there's like multiple places to go to. If it was like the only thing happening, like, of course. But so she said only 12 guys showed up and the event was like, okay.
What?
12 guys. Whoa.
I mean, were they quality guys? Like,
I sure hope so.
That's wild.
Okay, is this comment accurate?
So that's good.
Yeah, the comments
That's
saying nobody
crazy.
went to mate. This is a classic story. Shaista says I'm famous. Thank you, Shaista. Like, oh man. Oh, apparently they were offering free admissions to the DC one yesterday. Is that true?
Oh, I don't
Whoa.
know. I don't know.
Why?
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
pretty. All right, we have one more
Awkward.
event. We have one more event to talk about, and that was IllMuslims. IllMuslims had a little bit of brand recognition. They've done events a bunch of times, and one of the admins was the promo and the code that you can go to, which I used his promo code to get in.
Shout out to Skeeb.
Yeah. But it was a good event. They threw it together like 3 days before. It was very hectic, but it came together really nicely. They had snacks, they had food, nothing crazy, just chicken nuggies and pizza. So it wasn't like anything crazy, but it was good. Something to be hungry. I mean, the food went really fast though. But
How
there
much
was
did they charge?
I want to say if you use the promo code, you got it for about like 35 or 30.
And they
That's
gave you chicken
reasonable.
nuggies. Okay, that's
It
fine.
could
Yeah.
get up
That's
to, it could get
reasonable.
up to 50 though.
Yeah,
It
it might have gone
could
up to 50. I think like the first people who got it were I think like 30, 35, and then like it went up to like 40 something. But then when you use the promo code, it goes back down $5.
Shows the
Yeah.
comments saying 45-ish. Okay, that's reasonable.
Okay, 45-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna like mixer like mocktails
Yeah.
and
But like this was the event that you dress up as. So people were wearing suits, night outfits, people were looking glammed up. So it was a rooftop party, right? So you got like really good pictures out of it. They had professional photographers that took pictures of you. They had a DJ, they had mocktails. So, they had their shit together. It wasn't bad. It was a good event. I enjoyed it. I did hear that it might be in a sketchy part of the neighborhood. I don't know Chicago that well, but a few ladies did ask me to walk them to their cars. I guess like parts of it was a little sketchy, but other than that, I thought it was a pretty good event.
Cool.
Yeah, I thought it was great. It was like 300, maybe like 350 people. Well, we both kind of like volunteered for a bit. You didn't sign up for it, but I did volunteer.
Yo, they made me volunteer, Jazz. I'm not even part of the thing. And they were like, yo, can you help out? And then I was like volunteering and I was helping them like sign in people. And then the girl that I've been waiting to talk to all day showed up. And I was like, no, I need to get off. Like she finally got here. I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. I need to go. She's here now. Cause
you sound like Gatsby. You're like, oh my God, the girl is here. She's at my party. I need to go.
The Leonardo DiCaprio one, right? I would have helped out longer, but like she literally just like showed up after like 10 minutes and I was like, oh no, I can't help you anymore. I need to go talk to this girl before she gets taken. I know. So I tried. But yes, I did help out a little bit. It wasn't bad. But I like talked to her a little bit and then I was like, I texted her and I was like, oh, did you leave? I wanted to talk to you before you left. And like, I got no reply. So I was like, damn it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Wow. You never heard back?
I never heard back. Nope. Never. So that's it. So yeah, man. Let's see. Oh, Skeeb's on here. Yep.
Yeah, no, everyone's praising the event. IllMuslims was amazing. And
yeah, great job.
Great. And I said this before, and so many people like agreed with me, but you can see these people, like the same people 3 nights in a row, but something about IllMuslims, it might be the Christmas lights, the rooftop vibes or whatever, but everyone just looks like way better. And all of a sudden that person that you were like passing up all of a sudden looks great. So I love like, they just create that vibe,
Yeah.
Someone asked gotta drop in the comments. Skeeb, the guy who's the admin in that one WhatsApp group chat, who also had the promo, who's also involved with IllMuslims, he's gonna be on our podcast covering the One Piece live action show. We're gonna be dropping the episodes for 1 and 2 tomorrow, and then sometime throughout the week we'll film for episodes 3 to 8. So catch us on that.
Yes, sir. There's a question in the comments, and I'm going to answer this question. Someone says, question to the 3 hosts. Well, technically 2, because Jazz wasn't there. Are you actually talking to any potential from the ISNA, Muzz, and Ill events? I felt overall that ISNA wasn't successful for me. For me, like I said, I asked 3 people for their number. 3 people did No, two people did not reply back. One person replied back with one text and then never texted me back, and she wrote, "You have an Android?" question mark.
Neebs,
Yo,
you know they're gonna discriminate against you, right?
I was like, no.
Bro,
and she never.
There's a reason I have two phones.
I know. And then, like, you know what I did? I found a bunch of like YouTube videos where they made fun of like iPhone users, and I just sent the link. After 2 days of no respond back, I just sent her a bunch of links of like memes and people making fun of iPhone people.
Don't start that fight. You will never win. Just
just
give in.
I think her exact words were, "Why the hell do you have an Android?" question mark. That was it. And I was like, it was aggressive, right? And I replied back, it's because we have a better camera. You'll know in a few years when iPhone pretend they came up with it.
I don't know why people use them. Like, I work in government, I work in politics, I work in healthcare, and I work in accounting, right?
Yeah.
These are 4 industries that require high security. If you have an iPhone, I can send you a text message and hack into your phone right now if I wanted to. And there's nothing you can do about it. Like, these are the most insecure devices out there.
Insecure devices for insecure people. That's what I say. That's what I say. But yes, yes. So one person is giving me the no because I have the Android. The other two have not. That's me.
Give me your iPhone number. I know you have one.
I don't have an iPhone number.
Oh, you got rid of it? Oh, okay.
No, I never had an iPhone number. Well, technically, it's just my number. I don't know how it works. But a lot of my friends did like some people, and I was running interference for a lot of my friends. There were a lot of my friends, and they were like, "Yo, I like this girl. Make sure that if any creepy guys talk to her, run interference. And if a good-looking guy talks to her, run it even harder." So I was running interference for a few friends of mine. So
oh my god,
I did work. I was putting up some boards.
Memes, you heard from the ladies. Get an iPhone. Get over it.
I know, man. I don't want an iPhone. I had an iPhone for 2 years, and that's the 2 years that I was in depression. I don't want to go back.
And asking about the other two hosts. So, S, you want to go?
Same success rate as you. So 0 total. But it was like, I remember when I walked into Muzz, I'm like, this is great. I recognized this one guy that I had seen on the dating apps. I don't know if we spoke or not. But when I started talking to him in person, like, I think I expressed interest. And then we even exchanged like Instagram handles, but it was kind of clear that he was just like, "I'll just see you at IllMuslims." Like, that's it. And then, cause I had already sort of expressed interest, not in an intense way. I was just sort of like, "Hey, you seem cool." Like, whatever. Not like, "Hey, you seem cool. I want to marry you. I want to go out with you." Nothing. But at IllMuslims, which was the next day, he completely ignored me, which is fine. There's, like I said, 300 people there. The only time he talked to me was when I was working as the check-in girl, checking in people. And there was a friend of his who was a girl who did not have a ticket and was trying to get in for free. Or I told her, "Here's how you buy a ticket right now." He still had tickets available. And he goes, "What are you doing? Get her in for free. Just get her in." And I kind of didn't like the aggression, because I'm like, dude, you ignored me all day. And
make her pay double. Make her use the promo code your name.
Right. So there was like that experience. Working the door, by the way, was like a whole thing. There were like people trying to get in for free and all that. That was crazy. But then there was like another guy that I was interested in, but like there was a girl talking to him the entire time. And I was like, "Oh, wow. Like, I guess we're having a nikah happening tomorrow morning. Like, this is happening."
Mashallah, congrats.
Yeah. So like that was that. And then we exchanged numbers, and like we started like texted. And I stuck around Chicago for like a few more days, but like he just like wasn't like down to hang out, or I think he was like out of town. And then after that, I still tried texting him, be like, "Give me some restaurant recommendations," and stuff like that. And same with you. It's been since like Tuesday, Wednesday, and I've been left on red. And I'm not going to be hopeful that that's going to change.
Yeah. So I did that too. I left in a day later just in case there was like a potential so I can meet somebody an extra day. And I was like, all right, never know. So I thought I would, give it an extra day and try to get like an extra date out of it. But nah, I don't know. I couldn't make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I have a lot of friends in the city, and like I stayed in the city, I stayed with my friends, so I had a lot of fun because I feel like ISNA kind of keeps you away from the city because it's in like,
Yeah, same.
right?
It's at
So
the
then like
airport.
after ISNA is when you get to like hang out in the city and get brunch and like do all these things. So,
Yeah.
but overall, like I think it was a great event because I had so many friends that were there, and this was an
Yeah.
excuse for us to like hang out together and do this together. So we were just like goofing around the whole time.
Yeah, I was going up to people and like I was like, "Do you guys ever think about dying?" Like in the Barbie movie, it's just like random.
What?
You never seen the Barbie movie?
No, I remember that scene, but like
that was me walking up to people like, "Do you ever think about dying?" That's my
oh my god,
that's my new icebreaker.
You have to be dressed as Ken for that thing to hit, though. Like
I'm always dressed as Ken. I'm
fair.
Knuff. It was Knuff.
Ken enough.
I was bringing that Kenergy. All right. Well, speaking of dying, I think we talked this topic to death. Is there anything we missed out that we didn't talk about that you wanted to bring up, S?
Let me think. Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing I can think of is that it seems like a lot of people went home very like frustrated and really
Frustrated.
sad because, and I think a lot of these like events, especially matrimonial events, like bring in a lot of like that energy because you have like people who have probably spent like $1,000, right? They took maybe PTO, they bought a ticket, like, then they bought a hotel for this specifically, and they come out like feeling like just drained and empty, and they feel like they owe this to themselves to try. And I think that's like the hardest thing for a lot of people about this.
All right. Okay, someone mentioned this in the comments, and they said you cannot have this podcast without naming the Norway guy. Okay,
Let's talk about it.
explain to me who's this Norway guy. Why have I heard so much about him?
Oh my god.
There was a dude who was
Oh.
like 6'4" from Norway, and like every girl was lining up to talk to him. There
Not
were
me.
girls, there were a lot of girls that I'm like even friends with, and I was like, even they waited their turn. They just like sat there, waited to talk to him, and I was dropping off a friend of mine who helped me with the groceries that I got for my party. I had like a few left over, so I told her, "Hey, take these back. You can have them." So I was walking her to her car. It was late at night, and I had all these like groceries and stuff. Right? It was like 4 a.m., maybe 5 a.m. This guy was still downstairs talking to girls. Like they were lined up. Like it was insane. Like he was from like Bridgerton or something. It was wild. And you know what the worst part is? The worst part is he was a great guy. He was nice. He was wonderful.
Oh, mashallah, good for him.
I can't even hate. He was so nice.
Good.
My friends took him to breakfast, and he was just like, "Yeah, I just don't know how to like tell a girl no." Like he was talking to girls for hours. He gave every girl time. He did not dismiss any girl. He was a nice guy. He was a great guy.
Even guys were in line to talk to
Yeah.
him. I want to be his
Yeah.
friend.
It was.
I want to be his friend.
Guys were taking pictures with him. It was wild. Like he was a celebrity.
Pictures.
Yeah. I know a lot of my friends were taking pictures with him. It was crazy. A lot of girls that I was crushing on were taking pictures with him. I was like, oh man. But it was wild. Yeah. So we did have to mention the Norway guy. He didn't do anything wrong. Being that good looking must be a blessing and a curse. I bet.
I mean, obviously, you have this option or like this illusion of choice, right? At the end of the day, you're ideally gonna get married to one person. Like,
He
good luck,
definitely
my guy.
had a line. Like anytime you saw him, there would be groups of 3 girls cutting them off. There was literally a line. I was like, when I saw him at the Muzz event, I was like, okay, like he's great, just like a lot of people there were. So I didn't put him on a pedestal or anything. But then quickly I realized
he's already tall. You don't need to put him on a pedestal. 6'4". Goddamn.
And that's when I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be a part of this roster. I'm going to talk to a guy that talks to every
roster.
No, I only feel special. That's what I did. But like clearly a lot of my friends are into him. So he kept being in my orbit and girls kept being like, why is he talking to this girl? It's been 30 minutes. It's my turn, but we can't get my turn. It literally felt like The Bachelor. And there was one guy, even though
It was. Oh my God! It was The Bachelor. It was exactly
literally
The Bachelor. Now I should have walked around with roses.
It was
Yo,
literally
someone
The
should buy him like
Bachelor.
a
We should
dozen
have given him a
roses.
rose to give out to the girl he liked. It was like ridiculous. But then you know what? I talked to my friend about this after ISNA, and she was there too. And I was like, what is it? Like, why can't other guys get this attention? Like, it cannot just be the height, you guys. And she said, you know what it is? She said it's also because he gives the attention back. Because if you think about it, there's like a lot of other very great catches out there. But they're not like as accepting of you. Like they're just kind of like looking around, they're looking past you, they're looking at the door, hoping somebody hotter comes in, or they're not engaged, and you get the vibe and you leave. But this Norwegian guy, he gives everybody that respect, but somehow, like you said, he gets caught in every single conversation. But also that means everybody thinks they have a chance with him because everybody gets 15 minutes with him. So I don't know, like.
Well, if you guys have his number, send it to me and we'll have him on the podcast, and we'll do live Bachelor on the podcast. We'll just have girls come in, wait in the waiting room in our podcast, and we'll bring up 15 minutes and everyone can have a conversation with them.
Wait,
and we'll
why don't we auction him? Like, why don't we auction a date?
Because he should have some choice in whether he wants to date somebody. We don't sell people, we don't do that anymore. I think that stopped after the Civil War. We don't do this.
Just ask him. He might be down.
Jazz, you're on mute.
It did not end, but okay.
It would be for charity.
Oh, we could do that. That'd be fun.
Oh, yeah. I just want him to find love, man. Like I want him to have a choice, though. I want to know how he talks to girls. Maybe we can learn from him. If he's giving girls this attention and they're really liking it, we can learn from him.
Yeah. All right. Before we end, let's go to the comments real quick. Oh, okay. This is actually a great comment by Riz. S should give her 2 cents on what girls should do and what guys should do at these events, and then same with Anib. What should they do? What can they do better?
You go first.
Well, I think everyone should sort of like come in being very realistic. If you see it as, oh my God, I flew across the country, I spent $1,000 to find my husband, and I left with friends, I'm a failure. That's really bad thinking. Like I get it. I get why we think that way. There's a lot of pressure, especially on women, but also on guys as they get older. So I think we need to come in with like a really like healthy mindset and find ways to make this fun. I mean, like me and my friends, as bad as it sounds, like at Muzz at some point, because we didn't have seats, right? Like we weren't able to speed date. We started just analyzing people's body language, and we got a kick out of it because we're like, oh my God, he's not into her. Look at how much she's leaning into him, and he's like literally leaning back, or look at this, look at that. So you have to like make this process fun. But I think like what you can do is like try to like come in like being very confident as well, and being like, you know, like I'm a great person, I'm a great catch, I'm not going to get triggered by some girl who's like, I don't know, whatever, like this more than me or this less than me, and just be like, I'm a great person, and if the right person will see it. Because I think if you put your self-worth in like somebody else's hands, you're gonna get crushed at these events. These events like make no sense, because sometimes the guy that you like is like chatting up some girl, and you're gonna start being like, what do you mean? Like, why is he with her? Why not me? Is it this? Could it be that? And that's just gonna, it's almost like the concept of ghosting. You're just gonna like spiral into like negativity. That's that. But like I think the third thing is at the end of the day, sometimes you'll never see these people again. So my advice for guys and girls is like, shoot your shot. Like just take the L. You know what I mean? Like I think girls and guys all just need to like just be confident and be like, even if it's with that Norwegian guy, just be like, I'm gonna talk to him. This seems hella competitive. The chances are very low that it's gonna be me at the end of the day. But I want to like talk to him. I want to let him know that I'm interested, that I exist, and I also want to get to know him to see if this is something I want to pursue more. And if not, like you're just gonna go home and be like, oh my God, there was a guy that I liked. Maybe I can find his Instagram and start this process of doing everything long distance. So we just need to like be confident enough to like go to the guy or girl that we're interested in, not like hover over them for like 20 minutes, but just talk to them for like 5 minutes, and just like take the L and walk away if this isn't it, and just move on. That's how I feel.
Cool. Yeah, solid advice. I do agree with the shoot your shot moment. Like honestly, like no one's mad at people shooting their shot. Like we're all on the same boat. and you missed 100% of the shots you never take. Michael Scott, Wayne Gretzky, all that stuff. Like I think that's true. But
Of
people,
course.
one of the things, like one of the all-time scorers in basketball, also has some of the most misses in basketball, but nobody talks about that. And there is a great book on rejection. It's called The Rejection Theory. Or I think it's called Rejection Proof. And basically what you do is you slowly train yourself to be desensitized to rejection. So you'll do things slowly. Like you'll go to a store and you're not supposed to haggle, but you'll just be like, hey, can I have this for 25 cents? And like, not to get it, but to practice the rejection. That little feeling that you get when you're rejected, it goes away. You get used to that feeling, and it becomes a little bit like numb when you can't. It doesn't hurt as bad, and you just build your way up to that slowly. It's a great book. I think it's called Rejection Proof or Rejection Theory, and it teaches you how to build tolerance to rejection, and it's really, really great. And I definitely go by that. Another thing is, you ever watch the movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey? That's another one where you just go and you don't say no to anything. Like someone says, hey, ask that person out, you go and ask that person out, because amazing things will happen to you if you just take your chances and lower your standards a little bit, right? I think amazing things can actually happen. What I really love is I love to talk about people who are passionate about things. I don't care what you look like or whether we're incompatible, but if you're talking to me about something you're passionate about, I can talk to you for hours. I don't care if it's knitting. I don't care if it's racetracks. I don't care if it's motorcycles. Like, I don't care what it is, but if you're passionate about something and you bring it up in a conversation, I can tell. I can totally see it. And I can sit there and listen to you talk about something you love for hours. And you know what? You like talking about something you love. So you don't feel like it's a waste of time either. And if we don't like each other, at the very least, we'll be friends and we have a similar interest. And maybe I'll pick up whatever you like and try to take an interest in that. To me, talking about your goals, your life, all this stuff feels intrusive. But when you talk about something people are passionate about, like it's a game changer. I love that.
Yeah,
so that would be my advice.
If you are into nerd culture, reality TV, you never know, we might bring you on the podcast. So let us know.
Yeah, let us know. All right, man. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us, man. This was a great podcast. We talked a little bit about the drama. Hopefully, people are not mad at me for spilling the tea.
It's fine.
I'm scared to look at my phone because I'm worried that I'm already kicked out of that group chat now. But yeah, look, thank you everybody for joining us. It's hard out here for all of us, and we're just talking about this stuff on the podcast. We don't have all the answers, but you know what? Maybe we have a little bit of the answers, and you have a little bit of the answers, and S has a little bit of the answers, and Jazz has a little bit of the answers. And when we put the whole puzzle together, maybe the picture is clear. And that's what we're really hoping for. So thank you everybody for joining us. And until next time, guys.
Wait, real quick.
Oh.
I'm going to highlight this comment here because, Danish is saying he met the Nora guy and played soccer 11 years ago. We're also going to auction off Danish. So.
Yeah. Jazz, when should we start doing this? Should we? I really want to do it. I want to bring up a guy on this show and then bring up a girl and have them have a date and then us just like comment on their date. I think that'd be so
okay. Fun. That's a wild idea.
That'd be so fun. I would love to just throw my 2 cents in there while they're dating. Like they're hitting it off and I'm just like, ooh.
Better yet,
so much
you should
fun.
have a Bluetooth headphone, like a headset, and like the guys are talking to the guy, the girl's talking to the girl.
and all the people in the comments would be like, yo, like ask her about her hair. Ask her, like all the people in the comments can like chime in and they can ask you all these questions and like kind of like wingman the guy, and all the girls in the comments could be like, oh, ask him about like how much money he makes or like whatever toxic thing they want to talk about. I don't know. We can go both ways. We can go really, really like wholesome. We can go really, really toxic. I don't know where it can go anyway. It can go either way. I think that'd be so much fun. Let's find this Norwegian guy and bring him on.
Let's talk about that.
6'4"
No, we're not doing that to
guy.
the Norwegian guy, but let's talk about that. Like,
I don't know. I think he would be a great first person to bring on the show.
You'll have a lot more people watching if he's on the
show. Someone was like, I will buy Danish. Okay, Danish, you're coming on next. Danish is a hot commodity too. All right. All right,
commodity.
Guys.
I'm dead. Just compare everybody to something inanimate. Like
that's what it is, man. That's what it is these days.
What a world.
All right, man. We have gone way over the 1 hour limit, but a lot of people were joining us. A lot of people were here in the comments. We're gonna post this on Spotify, so you'll have access to it hopefully tomorrow. But thank you guys, and until next time, Salaam nerds.